I'm gonna keep the app going. Also, I'm gonna keep the... Whoa. This thing was going off. Was that you? Who was that? That was communicating with me. Alright, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Eerie Explorations. Today Heather and I find ourselves at Liberty Cemetery here near Buckeye. It's actually in Liberty, Arizona. It's about 6 miles east of Buckeye. And there's a lot of history here at the cemetery, and we're just gonna do a little tour, little walkthrough, maybe run a K2 meter sweep, and then return some evening to do a night investigation. So without further ado, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and do this right now. So, all right. As I mentioned, we're at Liberty Cemetery. According to sources, this is an extremely old cemetery. Actually, one of the oldest cemeteries in Arizona. So that's a very interesting piece of history. So I'm just gonna do a tour, or be mindful. I don't know if anybody wants to tell me what these giant holes in the ground are for. Hopefully they're not giant rattlesnake holes, but I'm gonna guess no. We'll see. Anyway, so as we go through the cemetery, there is a lot of, it's a windy evening.
With the rain.
Yeah, it's a little rainy. So sorry for all the wind interference. So one of the interesting facts about the cemetery is the story behind Chicken Joe. Oh my gosh, you're right. It is kind of
Sinks in.
It does sink in. So Joe Chicken, I keep saying Chicken Joe. Joe Chicken. So this is a mysterious burial site. As we continue to come to Liberty Cemetery to investigate and explore, we'll share some more stories and history behind the Joe Chicken burial. So, but some of the things that I do know about this cemetery, did you just tell funny? I think that was pretty funny. Is that back in the day they used to families would bury they would come here at night, and to avoid paying the $2 lot fee, they would just come bury their loved ones after they pass, whether it's through poverty or just simply not wanting to pay the money. But one of the important burials at this here is this the Belote family. Oh. So we have Mary, wife of William Belote, and the Belotes have a name. One being a John Belote, being the mayor or ex-mayor of Buckeye. And this is his father, I think is what it was. So, moving on. On here. It's not a big cemetery, as you can see. I'll just go and pan across. What do you think so far? Are you feeling anything, Heather? So you see there's not that big of a cemetery. What are you thinking?
It's crazy. It's beautiful out here.
Oh, it's definitely beautiful out here. But as far as being inside the cemetery, how do you any kind of vibes at all?
No, not really.
No vibes? Okay. Neither. I'm not feeling anything either. Yeah, this is definitely some soft. And so, we have Robert R. Thank you for your service. You have some interesting tombstones like this. Sand getting your shoes, Heather?
There we go.
So I did bring the K2 meter, and depending on, see, here's a below family member as well. Which one? What does that say? Does that say? What does that say, Heather? Luma? Luma?
This girl was only 11.
Oh.
Well, it might have been a boy too, because Maddie.
Yeah.
Well, it had to be a girl because her name was Viola.
Okay. So it looks like
She was 11.
11 years old. Oh. It's too bad. Just kind of moving down the line here. I'm gonna just see if there's any names on these.
Usually on the side.
Yeah. We have the Knowles. We have a Lee here. Oh. Yeah, these holes are huge. I'd like to know what these holes are for. Hopefully they're not rattlesnake holes. If so,
Big hole.
I'll urge you to start running now. Okay, so we have Bertha Schweikart. See anything interesting, Heather?
You're seeing that too, right?
It says 1843 to... Does that say 18 or 19? 1926?
It says 1843 to 1826.
Wow. That doesn't make any sense.
It's backwards.
Yeah, that must have been a mistake.
But they're all like that.
I'm going to have you kind of start the sweep right now. We're going to actually go and conduct a K2 meter sweep. It's on. Is it going off already? Alright, so as I mentioned, Heather's going to go and do a K2 sweep of the cemetery. Alert us of any spikes that's going on here as we walk through it. I don't know if we're going to cover the entire cemetery, but we're going to get most of it done. So, and you're going to get the pleasure of seeing what we film here. Oh, here's an interesting one.
That's a homemade one.
Yeah, it's Charlie Goad, 1884, 1937. Yeah, it says founded 1885. I know these have to be the, I've read the story about the Brewster and Woody, and these are all the, I'm guessing it's the list of the people that actually took care of the cemetery, the groundskeeper. As it says right there, past to present caretakers. I'm definitely going to share a link in the description of this video, and the link's going to take you to the site in which the history of Liberty and Liberty Cemetery will be explained in a little more detail. So definitely access that link when you see this, when you see it in the description of the video. Because I might be saying things that might be a little off on the history. This is a Interesting burial as well. This is our boy, baby of Mr. and Mrs. W.L. McDonald, February 2nd, 1939. I'm sorry that you passed so early in life. Wow, these headstones or tombstones are definitely weathered. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of give you some perspective over here on the north end of the cemetery. It's a pretty bare-boned, just a bunch of wooden crosses. According to sources, there are a lot of unnamed or individuals that were buried at the cemetery that didn't have names. Basically, that they were just buried here, and whomever was in charge of getting this all updated with actual burial names is doing a good job. And I think this is the subject or the result of the upkeep of the cemetery, is to get more names on some of these burials, I guess using wooden crosses. That would be a very difficult job to go through all the records. And as I mentioned, for more history behind this cemetery, definitely navigate to that link that I'm going to share in the description box. Just going to keep walking this way. And then, you know, while we're here, so we're currently in Liberty right now, which is unincorporated actually. But I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Hopefully we can get a good picture. And I believe that is the schoolhouse or the school. Okay, so, okay, yeah. So Heather's summoning me right now, so. Anyways, that's the oldest school in Arizona, so I'm gonna go and see what Heather wants. So did you get any readings over here at all?
No,
Okay.
but I got some heaviness.
Is it even on anymore?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. So.
You know, I turned it off.
No, I just want to make sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and take over the K2 meter. Maybe I'll have a little more, oh, what is that?
The feather. I was wondering too what the hell that was.
It's crazy.
You could say that.
So as we're navigating or traversing the cemetery, we have to be mindful of our surroundings. There is an individual, looks like it might be a farmer, tending to his fields, but he keeps staring over here, so. Yeah, it's pretty sad to. And there's also stories of, I guess a pandemic came through and people got sick and passed away from the pandemic, and I think it was in the 30s, and a lot of those people that passed away were buried in the cemetery. So I'm assuming or guessing that a lot of those individuals had no names when they were buried here, so they're renovating and making the attempts to put names on gravestones or tombstones. So I think that's great. I really do. Gerardo, Jerry, Juan. So, you know, thanks for your service. If there's anybody here with us right now, give me a sign of your presence. There's a device in my left hand that I would like you to use to try to communicate with us. We're not here to harm you. We're just here to communicate with you and, you know, get to know you a little better. So if you're here, just, oh, it just spiked. Was that you that made this go off? Okay, thank you for responding. Was that, so Heather wasn't really looking. Was that you?
Are you, Jose?
Or Jesus Perez?
Jesus?
Jesus, if this is you, definitely continue to communicate with us. So, Jesus, if this is you again, I'm asking you, use this device to communicate with us. If it's not you, if it's somebody else, make this device go up. Is that an answer saying that it's not you? Can you do that again if it's not you? Is that you, Rodolfo? Are you here? It looks like it's Rodolfo. Rodolfo, I'm right in front of you where you're laid to rest. Is that you? I want to thank you for your service. I guess that may not be you. It might be just somebody else wondering. If it's not Rodolfo or Jesus, make this device go off. I won't even point towards that direction. Let me know if it's you or somebody else. Make this device go up. It happened over here. I'm gonna move over here and kind of walk this way. So if there's anybody here with me, please make this device go up. Utilize this device, this harmless device, to try to reach out to us and communicate with us. It's one step closer for us to communicate with you. And we're not in it to harm you or anything. This is harmless. This device will not do anything to you. It's just going to allow me the ability to communicate with you. And just use your power and any energy that you have to try to influence this gauge to go up or go off. Can you do that for me? I think it's too windy to do an audio recorder session. So I don't know if I'm going to do that right now. This is Albert Marion Richardson, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jesse Richardson. Uh, 6 months old. Around, maybe a little less. If there's anybody here with us, please give me a sign of your presence. Make this device go up. What's going on?
23 months.
23 months old? Oh. So 2 years old, essentially.
1 month short.
Yeah, our darling C.L. Wilson. I can't tell if that would be a boy or a girl.
CL, are you here?
CL, if you're here with us right now, give us a sign of your presence. See this gauge in Heather's left hand? It's harmless. It's going to allow you to communicate with us.
You can light it up and see all the pretty colors. Are you here? I'm not feeling too much.
Yeah, I don't feel anything, and you know, it's no different from the first time I was here. I just I don't have any sense of. I don't feel any kind of sense of supernatural or, you know, feelings or paranormal feelings going on right now. It doesn't mean that there isn't any kind of energy flowing through the cemetery. No. So if there's anybody here, anybody would like to communicate, please come forth and use all your energy and power to make this gauge go off. So I think I read something about the history of this place, about how they stopped burials in, I want to say like 1962, 1967, something like that. So there's definitely no more burials going on here at the cemetery. I might go over to Joe Chicken's burial area and conduct another investigation or experiment over there, or session, sorry. So you're probably going to see a cut in this video, and it's going to be me, Joe Chicken, at his burial site, and I'm going to try to conduct another investigation. So here we go.